Three, two, one. We are live. How's it going, everybody? This episode is not a rookie corner one. This is just a random one that I kind of felt like doing toward the end of the year. I've met a lot of YouTubers over the last couple months, and I love meeting ones that have little content or are still growing or in the early stages or just need a little boost. And I got quite a few of them right here. So first up, let's introduce us to the open-minded movie man. How's it going, Scott?
It's going well.
Going well, perfect. And then we got Riot Kitty.
Hello.
And we got Jedi Rider Gaming.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, by the way, should we call you Rider or a different name other than, or just call you Jedi? What's up, Jedi?
Just call me Gabriel.
Okay.
That's my real name.
Okay,
so yeah.
Do you mind if I call you Gabe?
No, it's okay. Just don't call me Gabby. Nah, that's awful.
Gabrielle.
No, I won't.
Okay. All right. Well, to kick it off, so it's gonna be kind of a chill one, just getting you guys popping the live stream cherry is what I'll call it, and just just talking chill and just talking about stuff we want to talk about. And if you guys haven't had a chance to talk about things, we can get some of that out here. I know when I had a few people on and it was their first live stream, they just had to rip into a few things during the stream, but we can get to those in a little bit. But open-minded movie man, why don't you start and tell us a little bit about you and your channel?
Okay, well, I'm open-minded movie man, and I've had this YouTube channel for, I'd say, a couple of years, and the last video I uploaded was sometime last year, but that was from the year before. And then somehow, I guess because I got so busy, I focused on other stuff. Like I focused on my job, and believe it or not, did some martial arts. I did some jiu-jitsu for a year. And just recently, I decided to somehow get my mojo back and start, pumping out the videos. And I think I've at least produced 20 plus videos, mainly focusing on, movie reviews, basically the recent ones, and then buying some Blu-rays for cheap, and then getting some ones that, I haven't seen that I just want to give a look at, and then some that I would be expecting that I kind of grew up with. I'm actually expecting a Blu-ray, actually two, a Critic collection that I bought recently, and then the Gremlins saga, the first two movies.
Okay, nice. I've noticed too. I think I first noticed your channel maybe about, I don't even know if it was a year ago or a couple months ago when you weren't really posting that much at the time. But and then all of a sudden, yeah, pretty soon you started to post some more, and you've been catching a good flow, I see, and you seem to be getting more confident with each video you're doing, and I like that. And I kind of like your format. You like buy the DVDs, and you tell us a little bit about how they cost and about the your experience a little bit with some of the stuff, rather than just talking about the movies. And I don't know, kind of like that style. Different styles is good around here because a lot of people try to copy the bigger ones, and having variety is just much needed these days. So I appreciate that. And your skit work, the video, I'll put the more footage that you sent me for the skit in the blooper reel soon, because you sent 8 minutes of footage or 9 minutes of footage with you
doing my katana and my Rambo Survivor type knife that I have.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And yeah, I can tell you got some skills with some of that too. Now, in future videos, are you gonna add skits of your own into it? Or are you gonna, apply some of your other skills in your life and some of your videos? Like did you say Taekwondo or did you say something else?
It was jiu-jitsu, actually.
Jiu-jitsu, yeah, like some of that into your videos. I mean, even if it's a funny 5-second thing, you just be like reviewing something and then chop an apple in half and just go on with the review. I don't know.
It's more of like a science in a way. It's probably better if you're kind of practicing on someone. That's what it's about. It's about the art and the science, pretty much. Learning how to get people into submission and learn to fend off the defense. That was some pretty intense work that I did. I basically rolled with a lot of people, a lot of different body types. Like I rolled with some pretty muscular guys, even taller than I am. I'm like 5'6", and I rolled with a guy that was like probably over 6 foot and muscular. I was able to, outlast him for a bit, but sometimes he'll get me into that submission where I have to, tap out and stuff like that.
I gotcha. But That's pretty cool, man. And I'm glad to see you starting to grow, though. And you seem to be getting more people's attention lately, like Black Angus and stuff. And you seem to talk about sports quite a bit, too. Are you going to incorporate that into your channel, maybe?
Yeah, I just recently uploaded that video about my team winning. And, I mean, it's supposedly a meaningless game, but, you know, it's all about trying to keep the focus and the intensity and making sure that you stay sharp for the playoffs. Because if you get complacent and lazy, that's usually going to rub in, and normally 9 times out of 10 you might lose that game.
That's a good point. Do you think I had an idea just off the top of my head with incorporating sports into a movie review? Like I normally would click on a video to watch the movie review, and once that's over, I usually do kind of stick around for whatever else they do in their video, whether it's a weird skit or they're doing an advertisement for something else that they want to do. So I think if you were to do like a normal movie review like you would, and then the last like 3 minutes or 5 minutes talk about a sports team or talk something sports related, that'd be a good spot to put it. So people would click on the movie review and get some sports talk at the end, and I think people might like that.
It's true. It's funny how you think when you mention that. I kind of think about how the Dallas Cowboys, as a franchise, because they're one of the most renowned sports franchises ever, and I feel like in a way, how do I put this? Our owner is kind of a narcissistic tendency to kind of always think that the way he's doing things is the right way, and even though we won the Super Bowl in '95, we have not won a Super Bowl since that year, since he's been running things. And I feel like it kind of compares to how Lucasfilm is producing the Star Wars films recently, in a sense.
I gotcha. See, I wish that Angus was here for that part for a response with that, because I don't know that much about sports to do it. I mean, I'm a basketball guy, but I haven't like paid attention to what's going on in the leagues for a while and all this stuff. But I'm going to move on to Riot Kitty for a moment, and we'll come back after I'm done introducing everybody. Then it'll be more open floor where everybody can just kind of come on in and talk whatever they want.
Let's definitely keep it open-minded for sure.
Exactly. So Riot Kitty, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your channel?
Okay, well, basically what I want it to be is a art, writing, and design channel. I love writing and art in general, basically. So yeah, I just wanted to create a channel off of that.
All right. So go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I'm actually making my own comic book right now, and I wanted to upload videos that has to do with that comic book. So right now, like my second video is designing magical girls, and my main character is a magical girl. So basically something like that.
Yeah, which that's pretty good. That's kind of what actually got me on your channel. Was I think I was watching a Ricada Law video, I think, or an Ethan Van Skybro one. I don't remember which one. And sometimes I look at people in the comments during the live chat replay and see if I want to follow their channels or not, or check them out. And clicked on yours, and it was like, okay, you just uploaded a video like the previous day, and I was like, okay, and checked it out.
Angus, what's up?
Oh, awesome.
What's up, Open?
Yep. And your video seems pretty good. So your comic idea seems pretty nice. And like, would you say you're like part of Comicsgate, or you like watching the stuff, or?
I like watching this stuff.
Okay, that's good. I know that a lot of people, at least based on who all comes on Comic Artist Pro Secrets, they're always, anytime anybody's just starting to make a comic, they're like, yeah, we're Comicsgate and going out. So just curious if you were in that or not. Just making the comic too. That's fun.
I'm just making the comic right now. I have no experience in it, so I don't consider myself part of it. But I'm just a fan. So
I gotcha. Yeah, I like your style too, because it looks really good, but it doesn't look like detailed professional good. But it's like I feel like that's a simple style, like a simple style that looks nice, basically.
I don't claim to be a professional or anything like that.
Okay, well, that's all fine too, because I think simplicity still makes for good artwork too. Like if you've seen any of my drawings, which I have a few videos on my channel with some of my drawings too. I mean, they're by no means fantastic, but to me it looks like a talented young person drew it, or something like a skilled 6th grader drew it, even though in my 20s. But Yeah, I hear you. But what are some future goals that you have for your channel going forward? Since you only have like 3 videos up so far, and then you're working on your comic, are you gonna plan on doing any other type of videos going forward?
Oh yeah, definitely. One of the ideas I have for a series is, well, when I get like enough subs and views, I was thinking about, well, redesigning the She-Ra 2018 characters into more of like, more of like a Thundercats 2011 aesthetic, think Avatar or Legend of Korra or something like that. So I was thinking about doing that as well.
No, that's pretty cool. I like those.
And also rewriting it too. So
yeah,
and also rewriting the episodes too. So
that'd be a good idea. Yeah, I think like Avatar: The Last Airbender was pretty cool, and Legends of Korra was a little less than, but had a lot of great ideas in that show. So I feel you on that. And then, so yeah, Angus has arrived. What's up, dude?
Oh, I was just thinking about how you should probably delete your drawing videos since you want to discuss Comicsgate.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I know.
If you're following me.
That's a little in joke we have at the moment for something else going on. Well, before we get to that, we got one more. So, Jedi Rider, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your channel?
Well, I mean, my channel is like it's mostly focused on gaming, hence the title. My first video that I uploaded a year ago was a video game called Mass Effect. Where I did a movie cut of it, where I like record with a capture card the gameplay that I do, and then I edit the cutscenes. I put some action scenes in it too, and I make it look like a movie. And then I upload the whole video on my channel. And I've been doing this for the whole trilogy. I still have one to do, but yeah, that's mostly what I do. I sometimes do live streams with and without commentary. I'm not very great at commentating, but yeah, that's mostly what I do.
Do you think you'd do better with commentary if you had somebody to bounce off of while you play, or something
Yep,
like so?
no, most definitely.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am too. Like, I'm not good at playing a game and talking, but if there's anybody giving any response back, then I can get into a big time talking mode. I can't just, yeah, so I'm going and some stuff. And I've seen people do that, and I'm like, how can you just talk and have nothing happen? But
it's like oh, you're describing what you're doing. Like, oh, I'm reaching for a drawer. Oh, I'm gonna look what's inside of. Oh, that's interesting. You got clips for your gun. Nah, I don't really like doing this, but I'll have to like work on it. Maybe I'll get better at it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I'll admit I haven't fully watched that many of your videos as of right now because I don't fully watch gaming videos. But now that I'm out of school right now and gonna take a little break from my channel, I'll be looking at a lot of people's videos. Even if like I don't fully watch gaming ones all the time, but I still appreciate the stuff that people put into it. Like, are you going to be doing gaming reviews at some point in the future? Are you going to change up or add to your content also going forward?
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna start doing some reviews. I wanted to do like maybe doing reviews for novels as well, but I'll have maybe to change the name of my channel because it's not very gaming related. But yeah, reviews, and I also want to since I'm also writing original content, and I also write sometimes like fan fiction. I wanted to do that maybe a Star Wars rewrite audio book style with actors. I'm still thinking about the whole plot, but that might be something for the future.
That's actually a pretty good idea, and that's a similar thing to what I'm going to be working on during my hiatus. I've been having this idea for the longest time and wrote down stuff here and there, and I plan on doing a similar thing. I'm going to put together a video presentation as well as try to get people in the community to voice the actors or voice the characters and roles. And if I can't get everybody to do that, then I'll just narrate it myself or something. But still, and
that's what I used to do as well.
Exactly. And perfect timing. What's up, Ancient One? Is your mic working? Ancient One. He said he's looking at his head. He's trying to find his headset earlier, and
okay, he must be using. Yes.
Yeah. Ancient One, just start talking whenever you feel like doing it. We'll respond when we hear you. But if you're talking right now, we cannot hear you. So at the moment, Angus, since you just showed up, I don't know, just say hi. I don't know.
Howdy. It's cool to be here with Jedi. I always want to say gaming writer. I'm like, wait a minute. So Jedi Writer Gaming, dude. Fly Eagles fly. Got in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
man.
Surprisingly, we're gonna have to play the Bears, which we have to thank for getting us in. So it's gonna be a fun game. I'm not scared, even though it's in Chicago. So it's fun and crazy game for you, open-minded. I watched that Giants game. It's a good little bit of momentum. So that's the football chat out of the way between people I know with football. Yeah, it's good to be here with Rookie. It's been a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it's been like a week.
Yeah. It's just yeah. I think we've skipped a week with doing the Chaos Council, so hopefully we'll make that up soon.
Yeah, I feel like it's been all cluttered around the holidays anyway for everyone, so it's
Yeah.
fine
This is like
if
a
we
fine
miss it.
time to like.
But I think
just screw up.
yesterday I was thinking about that. I was like, oh man, are we gonna do a chaos council? In my head, I was like, are we gonna do a fucking chaos council? I was like, I don't want to do one today.
And there's a lot to talk about as of late, especially with the aquatic man. But yeah.
Yeah.
So how'd you like? I know some of these people from the chat, but like, how'd you throw this together, or like, how long did it take you to throw this stream together with these people?
5 minutes.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
I kind of thought of this like just like yesterday or a couple days ago. I was like, you know, I know I'm gonna have a stream with like you guys and the gang, but I want to have one because it's gonna be a while before I stream again and post any content. So you know, having one with some people that haven't had a chance to live stream with me yet, it just sounds like a good idea. I think so. And you know, if you guys are smaller channels, then hopefully you'll get a little more notification around here. Princess Aruka, by the way, is posting your guys' links in the chat so people can give you a follow or check out your channel.
Neat.
So that will be
Nice.
Thank you, Princess, and I might invite her in here in a
Thank you,
little
Princess.
bit. Yep. I might invite her in here in a little bit, but I don't want us to be too crowded because I did also invite Adam Shahan, and I don't know when he'll pop in. And that was in case Angus couldn't show up. So that is good. And Ancient One, is your mic working? Nope, not working yet. Okay. Well, so until until that gets all handled out there, we'll just move on. So 2018, that was you guys think that was a pretty quick year or a long year? Like sometimes they go by pretty quick. This one felt like it drug for a while.
Yeah, I felt like it dragged along for a long time.
I feel like it felt like it went by fast, but there was moments where it just took forever to get through. Like certain months it sped up, and then other months it just really just pulled along. And so, so now that everybody's mostly gone, you know, the floor's open, so you guys don't have to wait for turns specifically. But if everybody starts talking, you know, you can step back or speak up. Yeah. Okay, we hear you, Ancient One.
Hey, everybody. How you all doing?
Perfect
Doing
timing,
fine.
man. Literally,
Hello.
literally perfect timing. Since we're about to move on, but you know, you just came in, so why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your channel, Ancient One?
I don't specifically have a channel yet, but I actually do plan on it whenever the chance arises.
All right. Well, I mean, tell us what you want to do with your channel when you make it, or what are you planning on doing for when you have a YouTube channel?
If I ever had a YouTube channel, I would definitely call it Energy Wheel. It's pretty much like It's pretty much like about like the video games and whatnot.
I got you.
Basically,
Yeah.
video gaming reviews as well as possible versus debating.
Yeah, we've been having some conversation about some of the versus matches that we've gone over, and yeah, I think that the way you're putting it seems pretty interesting because I think a lot of us might recognize Screw Attack as one of the main versus YouTube channels, but the way that you were putting it sounds pretty good. I mean, pretty necessary. It's a little different than theirs. Do you want to talk a little bit about how yours might be different than Screw Attack?
Well, if I were to get going, I will definitely say that I don't necessarily want all the fights to just end in death because, I mean, sure they did like a pretty good job with most of their death battles, but whenever I watch them nowadays, I was like, this is getting boring. I mean, why not have a show where we could like have versus debates where not all the fights have to just end in death. I mean, good grief. If they're not going to do something like Spawn from Image Comics versus Ghost Rider from Marvel Comics, we'll be considering the fact that they don't have the means to put each other down for good. I'd be like, yeah, I actually would. It'd be one of those matchups I would love to get going if ever allowed the chance.
And that would be interesting to see. Thinking about that, when they had Superman kill Goku, that doesn't seem like that'd be within Superman's character.
Exactly.
Or in Goku's to try to even kill the opponent. Usually they try to
sure,
avoid
we
that.
could get them to fight, but I'd rather not want to see them just end each other like snap. It would just feel so out of character when it comes to that.
Yeah, which is a good point. I mean, it's hard to make a versus thing with character when you're, doing a fake scenario, but that is something that should be considered, not just completely ignored in a one-on-one battle. Did any of you guys watch that stuff? Versus? No. Okay. That's all right.
Yeah. Me. I used to watch a lot of those back in the days.
Huh.
Nice. I watched a couple of those. I found some of them really hilarious.
Yeah, some were funny. I will admit, like some of the ones they did, like with the Deadpool and like Lex Luthor versus Doom. I kind of found those kind of funny. They're more humorous than accurate.
Yeah.
I would say, like they're at least entertaining, but not whether they're accurate or not. They have some fun.
I think there was a Spider-Man versus Batman Beyond once. I think, I'm not sure.
If I remember correctly, it was Spider-Man 2099 and Batman Beyond.
That's the one
I've never watched.
Oh, it was pretty cool, but Batman won at the end, obviously.
Oh yeah, I'm Batman. I am biased. I do whatever I want because I say whatever I want. Considering that how biased I am, so am. Oh yeah. Hey, wait a minute, that ain't right.
Versus Capcom.
Oh yeah, so that was something. But hold on. So since we've got our final member in here in the house, that is Adam Shahan. What's up, superfan Adam Shahan? How's it going, man?
Hey, buddy, it's going really good. Sorry about that. Had to finish up with Lethal Lightning real fast, and it just ran over a little bit.
Deeply
so
understandable.
I'm late to the party, but I have made it. Had to get the wiener dogs to bed because there's 16 of them, and they're outnumbering me and you and everybody on the stream. So
you know what? Better late than never in this case.
Yep. Yeah, I can hear
16?
them. Like, they want to play.
16.
Jesus, I just bought a new one like a month ago, and I'm already tired, man.
That's what happens when you're a breeder. Sometimes your numbers are up, sometimes they're down. But, yep, 16 right now.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Craziness.
How can you give all of them the attention they want? I have a cat, and she's very demanding of attention. And it's like, if I had 2 cats, that'd be hard enough. But 16 dogs, holy shit.
It's pretty easy considering, when you're retired and, you just hang out on cool streams like this or world-class bullshit or such. I don't have a lot to do, so I hang out here with the dogs. I got 3 acres of land that they can run and have fun, and, you just play with the wieners.
That's cool. I love your Joker figure, man.
Yeah,
nice.
89 Batman poster.
I'm going to present the screen, if you don't mind, for a sec, so people can see your Joker there. Yeah, I see now I know what happened with the files because I was you sent great stuff for the skit, but yeah, I think you sent a few on Twitter and then on email and then also on Facebook, and I forgot to check Facebook for the thing, and that's where the Joker lines were that you had for him. But
it's all good, man. Like I said, I threw it up on YouTube after when you had said something, and I was having a hell of a time sending it. Twitter was giving me the finger, and I went to emailing it, and it was giving me a hard time too. So I just like, hey, we're just going to send it every which way I can, and I was just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, no problem.
Very small part, with one person. Because I'd even sent a little clip with the dogs where they were all passed out because I was like, hey, me and Frank and the Wiener Dog Clan gave you all our energy, and they were all asleep. So I got like a 3-second video of them, where you could splice it in. And the funny thing was, like I told you, I shot it backwards. So I had my big old man beard. So I'm like, okay, here, I gave you my energy. I'm exhausted. And then when I shot everything, I made sure I reset stuff so you could loop it in, you know, and do your editing, because you do a really good job editing. I suck. But I can act. So I just figured, hey, I'll do this and do it this way and do it this way, where you'd have plenty of shots. And I sent you the best out of 30 shots.
Oh, wow. 30. Holy shit.
And
nice.
that was
I love the effort.
So each part I did 30 times, basically. You know, and every now and then there'd be, like you hear now, a dog barking or howling, or, you know, so it was a lot of fun at 2 a.m. shooting stuff.
I appreciate the effort big time, man. I love that.
Oh man, thank you for letting me just be a part, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. But all right. So we're just about to start talking about reflecting on 2018. Now, I personally don't have, you know, too much to reflect on with it, other than I don't know. It was not. I don't know, Angus. I'm sure you could get us started on this, because you I feel like there's more events with you during this year. So why don't you kick us off with reflecting on 2018?
Like how so?
Anything. I don't know. You know, funny events, movie related. You could say Star Wars or whatever. Whatever you want.
Well, I'll throw 2 different things out to give us, you know, to really split the audience, I guess. So in the good corner, we have the to end the year with Star Wars, and a happy note, have the Vader film, the 10-minute episode, or 13, whatever, from Star Wars Theory that we can discuss. And on the bad side, we have apparently the 2nd season of Punisher. His villain is going to be an alt-right Christian fundamentalist. And I'm like, what the hell? This is like, quit attacking Christianity off of, like, you know, freaking extremists. You know, we're not supposed to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're not supposed to do that to other religions. So quit doing it to Christianity. Like, you know, it's just this is from an atheist. You know, I'm defending you all. Like, this is just ridiculous. And so, yeah, those are 2 avenues we can go on with the end of 2018 coming up.
That's hilarious. Ancient One, you're going to say something on that?
Imagine what would happen if Beavis and Bud had actually watched that and like did their own personal review. What do you think they would do?
I don't know. I was never a Beavis and Buttheader, so
that's understandable.
What was that?
Hey, Beavis. I'm about to like fighting a friend, Stimpy.
Yeah, it really
yeah. It's gonna be cool. Yeah, we're gonna take out our Ultimate Originals. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got my baseball bat rig with a glove on it. Oh yeah, I got my chainsaw too. It's gonna rule.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny to see their commentary on things going on these days. That'd be kind of funny.
Pretty much.
All right. So I wish I wrote down things about 2018. That's what I should have done. But like I said, I kind of thought of this last second. I'm like, oh, you know, and we'll have a video and talk. And 2018 is the end of the year, and I haven't thought back on this year that much. I've just been going day by day, and then I'm like, oh yeah, so what happened this year? I don't know. Are there any events that stood out to you guys, or anything unique that happened that you guys want to talk about, or any conversation piece that you guys been wanting to say but haven't?
Oh, me 2 things. Oops, sorry. Go ahead, right?
Continue, Jedi. You're good.
Okay, 2 things was the Vader fan film, like Angus said, and the second thing for me, my hockey club is doing better this year, so that's mostly that.
Nice. Yeah, what teams are you again? You said
The Montreal Canadiens.
Montreal Canadiens. Nice. Yeah, so he's our resident Canadian, just because we've got Angus, who's a Blackie and Cherokee. And yeah, and
Oh yeah.
his alternate account would be Red Angus or something. But
Red Angus.
yeah, right, Kitty. Anything particular happened this year that you want to talk about?
Okay, well, first off, I just want to say, right now, all the AAA video game companies suck right now for gaming.
Like what?
Yes. Oh, well, let's see. Capcom, they put in-game ads in Street Fighter.
Oh, lame.
If you look at if you look at them, they're everywhere. They're on the characters' models. They're on their clothing.
Is that even on, like, when you buy the disc? Do they have ads and, you know, microtransactions or whatnot too?
Oh, microtransactions. I can't think of it. I can't think of one off the top of my head. But
if I sound stupid asking a gaming question, it's been such a long time since I've been like invested in like what's going on in the gaming world. So I'm so out of what happened. The last things I looked up into was somewhat with the Loot Crate stuff, sort of with the Battlefront 2, and I've been
Electronic Arts, yeah.
Been clocked out since.
Battlefront 2 was awful.
And speaking
in that regard. Okay, well, now for something good in 2018. Ruby Volume 6 premiered, and my favorite girl, Nia, is back. So she's actually my thumbnail, and that's why I chose her as my thumbnail.
No, that's cool, and that is a cute thumbnail, by the way. The picture or whatever, the girl on it, but yeah, that's cool. Movie Man, what about you? I know you probably got some stuff from this year.
I got some. What can I say? Well, I guess we'll start with the bad. Bad movie-wise, I was really disappointed in The Predator because I don't know what. I like The Fugitive Predator, but they Black and Decker really fucked up on that one because they try to incorporate too much humor into it, and it just didn't work. It didn't buy the chemistry between the actors. If anything, Thomas Jane should have been the lead, not Boyd Holbrook, because he was a very bland character, and he was a very meh character at best in Logan. That's what I remembered. And the fact that I do have a job, but I seem to be suffering a lot of financial strain lately. That kind of sucks, but I'm glad that I'm able to find, good deals once in a while. And I guess the good is that I definitely enjoyed Avengers: Infinity War. A lot of people probably didn't like the ending, but I thought it was kind of a ballsy ending to end like that. Kind of ending on a cliffhanger. But yeah, and I also I want to throw a shout out to that Vader fan film. It was fantastic. I think the budget was only $1 million, but I think it looked pretty decent. I mean, yeah, there were a few little noticeable low budget. The sets maybe weren't as high in scale like you would like on a typical movie set, but I think they did the best to use their budget to their advantage. And I definitely like the little conversation and dialogue between Vader and Palpatine. The little however, somehow Vader was able to stop those blasters and send them right back at the clone troopers, even though it was a dream sequence. But I thought everything was pretty spot on. It stayed true to the legacy of Star Wars. It really truly honored it. Why can't we get some creative minds, working for Lucasfilm instead of these hacks like Rian Johnson, or Ruined Dickhead Johnson, as I like to call him.
Dickhead Johnson.
I don't mind J.J. Abrams. He at least set the tone. He at least, brought kind of build something up at least. Rian Johnson just completely fucked that up and said, no, I'm just going to do the opposite and divide everyone because I think it's fun. Well, fuck you, Rian Johnson.
Yeah. It's like with JJ, it was innocent ignorance, and with Ryan, it was deliberate insulting, basically. But yeah, I agree with the fan film. Yeah, I mean, if a lot of people say it's good for a fan film, that's better quality than some films. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
there's more credit than just it's good for a fan film. Like what? It's up there. I would say Sith Apprentice would be maybe second to it in film quality, but I'd say that one gets a heads up on choreography. But still they very good, very good. You actually gave me an idea. So once we wrap up this little section of 2018, we can talk about the movies of 2018 because you reminded me about the Predator. I completely forgot about a lot of movies that came out. That just got me thinking for a sec about some, and we haven't discussed all of them. So it's a good idea. Jedi, was there anything you wanted to reflect on of this year?
Oh no, not really, except what I already said. And okay, maybe the bad thing this year. Oh, I'd say maybe Solo. I didn't hate it, but I didn't enjoy it either. And most of the new Star Wars books are pretty bad, except Thrawn Alliances, which was the latest one that Timothy Zahn wrote, and it's pretty good.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't hear about that one, but I was hoping for some Canadian news. Is there any Canadian news?
Oh, Canadian news. The only Canadian news that I can talk about is hockey, man.
Is there anything because it feels like it's just so peaceful, just like la-di-da. There's nothing, no squabbling as far as America always does every single day. It's like no, we're cool.
No, not really. I haven't heard really nothing bad happening this year. No, it's pretty quiet. I like my cold weather and being calm in my corner.
All right. What about you, Ancient One?
That's a very good question. Let's see. The first time I ever saw Avengers, I was really impressed. The only one thing that I honestly felt that was missing in that movie is Wolverine. And since he participated in that war in the original comics.
Which war?
The original Infinity War in the comics, which is the 616 canon storyline in Marvel.
Okay, yeah, I haven't read any of that. I never read a comic book yet, actually. So.
Well, Infinity War was based on Infinity Gauntlet series back in the days, the comic book series. So Infinity War, technically, what happens in the movie, it's what happening in the in these series of comics, and what's supposed to happen after, where it's supposed to be called like Infinity War in the comics. I'm not sure. It's all weird.
I gotcha. Yeah, that's a good point. Are you excited? We'll talk about Endgame in a sec. Adam, any reflections on 2018?
Oh man, 2018. Where to begin? Let's see. How much time do we have? No. 2018 was fun for me just because that's kind of when I started YouTube, and that's when I found World Class, which of course led me to everybody from Doomcock to DJD. To Geeks and Gamers, EVS, to you, to because that's how we met, was in the chat. Yeah. World Class Bullshitter, and same with Brandon Moist. May the Moist be with you. And it was a lot of fun, to say the least. I met Mr. Peabody there, Jason Clark, Odin's Movie Blog. Really a lot of the same channels, and of course from you, I found Black Angus. I've been checking out his stuff. Proper Jeremy, same. Just got off the stream with, of course, the one, the only Lethal Lightning. Damn, there's a lot of people to plug, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like just list my whole skit 3, and that's like that's most of them, but not even all of them. That's just.
But I mean, for me, that was the most fun. After I got injured in 16, by 18. A little depressed, a little down, kind of just living each day in massive amounts of pain, to Frank, the wiener dog, actually finding World Class Bullshitters, 1 on an iPad and then 2 on a PS4, because apparently he thought that I needed to listen to Jeff Hicks, which, like I said, then I met so many people after that and from that, and it kind of, lit a fire under my ass to get a little bit more motivated. And, as I met him in August at Horror Hound. As for pop culture, I mean, I haven't really gone to movies much in the last couple of years due to getting injured. But I do have an office full of a lot of cool stuff from before being hurt, as you can tell. But the coolest thing for me this year has just been really meeting all of you guys, everybody, you know, between the Phantom Menace to the small little channels all the way up to the really big ones, getting to participate in awesome streams like this. You know, it is a lot of fun. I can see why people do get addicted to it. But I've had a blast. Just meeting you, man, and Black Angus, you know, everybody in this community, to all the big ones and everything. That's been the highlight of 2018 for me, and it started in April of this year. So, other than that, man, you know, we can go anywhere. You want to talk about Punisher? I got some Punisher stuff here. You know, look, the clowns already got it out for you.
I love the way you put all that, man. Perfect. That's best sum up that I could think of right now, man. Well said.
Thanks, sir.
Punisher's an awesome character. I'll give him that. And when it comes to versus debating, he is ridiculous. He is so ridiculous. The guy is actually known to beat the living crap out of Deadpool while falling from a several-story building, lands on a car on his back, and gets back up as if he only sustained minor injuries. Yeah, he's ridiculous when it comes to versus debating. I'll give him that. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I like the Punisher from the, what is it, the 2005 movie, or which one was the
Thomas Jane?
the one that wasn't as silly, but it wasn't old. It was the where his whole family gets slaughtered.
It was the 2004
you're Thomas
movie.
Jane one.
Yeah, for some reason I love that one the most. For some reason, I don't know why. Just his whole family gets slaughtered, and then he's got to go and try to fight them, and somehow gets shot like 5 times and doesn't die, and then tries to come back. I don't know. Yeah. I love it when he fights that one dude one-on-one and just getting his ass kicked with everything.
Yeah, I honestly wish they made a sequel for that, but instead they decided to reboot it, called Punisher Warzone, which didn't do so well in the box office.
Yeah, it looked like a cartoon to me while watching. I was like,
exactly.
Yeah, but so hold on. So let's talk about 2018 movies, because I don't know because we haven't had a chance to have all you guys give your opinions on that, and even if we've talked about it quite a bit, so this will be pretty good. So since Movie Man brought up the Predator, let's get some thoughts on the Predator. Riot Kitty, did you see the Predator?
Let's see. Yes, I did actually. So.
Oh wow, nice! Because I did not see the Predator, but I know so much about it.
Yeah. My dad is a very, very big Aliens fan, so we had to go see it.
What do you think about it?
Well, you know what? I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was good. I think it was just perfectly average experience. I did love how they redesigned the Predator. I did like that though.
I like the fugitive Predator. He should have been in the film more, but nope. Black and Director decided to kill him off in a stupid fight scene with this tall ass CGI Predator.
Yeah.
Yep, Angus, you had a lot of thoughts on the Predator.
Oh, yeah. Well, overall, just go check out my video. It is part review, part spoiler, part scientific critique, and I do this. Like I love biological sciences, evolutionary sciences, etc. So when I have like just my own, not school taught, but my own, just like looking for it myself on YouTube, learning things, knowledge, because of my personal interest. I love when I can throw it in there if it works. And I did it in my video. I talked about one thing about gorillas and how it kind of is comparable to us with communication, and us being primates, how communication is key. So why are you pushing, like, yeah, it's a sci-fi, but you have an evolutionary biologist. So I expect you to adhere to some reality of what an evolutionary biologist might think. And I'm sorry, but autism is not a breakthrough for humanity. It is a setback. You know, if we were in Sparta, these would be people that would, if you could figure it out early enough, they'd be left on the cliffs like in 300, or made slaves or just killed off. Our society
made no
us
sense
to.
to add the. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
I just didn't really make any sense to introduce. Why would they want human DNA?
We're so weak. It redefines the whole storyline.
Not only that, it didn't make any sense for. Sorry to interrupt you again, but it didn't make any sense for Boyd Holbrook's character to send that stuff to his son. I guess because he's so super intelligent because of Asperger's. It didn't really make much. Wouldn't you want to send it to someone within the military, not your own kid?
Well, that whole plot, like that's why they showed his billing being overdue at the post office. That's why I went to his kid. It's like a little detail you miss, and I point that out, but it's just like I don't know. Like at 1 minute they show his Asperger's is like detrimental to like he breaks down if he hears a fire alarm, but then he's freaking Rain Man the next scene. It's like there's no consistency. They got the military humor right, and I appreciated that, but it was just awful. And I really like the whole fugitive predator thing, but they gave no background to why he would want to help humanity. If he's because his DNA is augmented as well, so it's not that he is necessarily against augmentation with other species. So like, what's his beef with the government he's from? Maybe clearly they have a setup for another movie, but I don't know. It's so weird. Like Ridley Scott. You can say what you want about his new stuff with Alien, but he's always trying to add stuff with a scientific realism to it. Yeah, it's sci-fi. Sci-fi is supposed to inspire or reflect real science to some degree. And so that was like my biggest beef. I don't know. Just really disappointing and just felt really directionless, and clearly they're just cashing in on a product that's already established in an era where it's like, hey, remember that stuff you liked in the 80s? Well, let's bring it back and try to capture what our parents felt in the theater. And it's like, we're too scared to make unique stuff anymore.
I know that Arnold Schwarzenegger said no to the script, and I can't blame him.
Exactly, because my ex-wife is too.
Because I know originally in the other ending, he actually did somehow is the one that did Predator or something like that. And there was originally like Earthbound Predator friendlies or something that helped him out or something. And I think they got killed off kind of quickly too, from what I read. That was like the original third act, and then they reshot it.
Yeah, I don't know. This one guy pointed out how it's like the first one was like kind of a horror in a way, and the way that they did it was like they might have said a few funny things, but they took everything seriously. And then in this one, it's just a joke every 5 seconds, and nothing is serious.
Humor was really out of place. I mean, I actually didn't mind the military here. Whenever they were betting on, if she was going to grab the shotgun or not, that was kind of funny, I'll admit. But some of like the other humor, like somehow she shoots herself with that target, with that gun, didn't make any sense. I know. I guess that's supposed to be funny, and somehow the bad guy shoots his own fucking head off. That made no sense at all. It's like it was.
Yeah.
Did he not know how to point a gun? It doesn't make any sense.
He had the Predator weapon on him, and somehow it gets confused, and somehow the Predator weapon shoots his own head off. So, yeah, that's poor. That's really poor.
That's funny.
But Black Angus on that post, I think I do remember that they show he sends it to his son, but as a screenwriter, why would you want to write that in? Send that stuff to your son. Wouldn't you want to have a military friend that has background on research and technology, not send it to your own kid? I guess that was Fred Decker's influence more than likely, because he had that similar style when he did RoboCop 3 25 years ago, where it involved a very highly intellectual kid with hacking skills and whatnot.
Yep, but all right. So I think that's everybody. Got anything else on Predator? Nope. Okay, that's fine. So Avengers. I assume everybody here saw the Avengers this year, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, I don't hear a no. So okay. So let's start with Jedi Rider. What was your thoughts on Avengers Infinity War?
At first, depressing and great at the same time.
That's the shortest summary I've ever heard about.
Yeah, I know. I'm not very great.
Wow.
Well, no, I really liked it. I mean, the comic book aspects, it kind of looked like in the comics. I preferred Spider-Man in this one than I did in Homecoming. I think that he was a little bit more accurate. Iron Man was great as usual. Captain America, I liked it. I liked him too, but I think the whole Thanos part of the movie was like the strongest moment in the movie. Thanos.
Yep, I think so too. It's pretty good. I think I've voiced quite a bit of my opinion on the film, so I don't want to take too much of that time on it. But so let's see. Ancient One, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you thought with it too?
It was pretty epic in a number of the parts. Yeah, I would have to agree with the last person on. Gosh, what was his name again?
Which guy?
With Thanos, you're talking about with Jedi Rider that I was just talking, or
Yeah, the guy you were talking.
Yeah, that was Jedi Rider.
Oh, all right.
All right. So yeah, right, Kitty. What were your thoughts on it?
It was a really solid film. It was a really good one, and I would be interested to see how Endgame turns out from beginning to end.
That's good. Any predictions on it for Endgame?
I don't know.
I hope it ends on a positive note.
So it makes over $3 billion in the box office, causing James Caan to what? Oh no! You beat my Avatar film. I'm gonna make another Avatar film to beat your Avengers film. Oh yeah! To be completely honest, I would be totally shocked if he absolutely said that. Could you imagine the audience?
I don't know if they had Deadpool say it. It wouldn't be that surprising.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Can I chime in?
Yeah, go ahead.
I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, I agree with Jedi Rider. It's depressing, but it's great at the same time because Thanos is not your typical two-dimensional villain. He's, like they say, the sympathetic villain, and I think the motion capture CGI was done pretty well. I think it was probably done by ILM. You know, they've been around for a long time. But anyways, Brolin did a great job as Thanos. I mean, you can really kind of understand him to a certain degree of what his goals and ambitions are, and why the Avengers have especially Iron Man and Doctor Strange have their ambitions to save the world and stuff like that. And also, it kind of sucks that the Hulk kind of wasn't in there as much, mainly because he got a brutal beating from Thanos and was embarrassed.
Yeah, that was something I didn't like.
Yeah,
wanted more Hulk.
Well, maybe you might get him more in Endgame, I think.
Well, I hope so.
But in any case, I think all the actors did a fine job. For what they had. I mean, maybe the beginning was maybe somewhat of a chore to sit through because they're going from these characters to these characters, and then back to those characters. But for a film that deals with so many characters, I think all things considered, I think it handled it pretty well for the most part.
Yeah,
that's not exactly easy to do in a movie that's 2 hours, and for all I know, it could have been a 4-hour, 5-hour movie originally, and they had to cut quite a bit of stuff out of it. So who knows? Maybe they'll save it for the next one.
Imagine if it actually was a 5-hour movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, that would be the most epic films that would put Lord of the Rings to shame, pretty much.
Well, I think Endgame is supposed to be like 3 hours long, something like that. I've read on Facebook or something.
Yeah, supposedly. Are you guys worried about how they'll use Captain Marvel?
Yeah, maybe a bit. I just don't want her to show up and like insta kill Thanos.
Do you really think that would happen, though? I mean,
no, I don't think so.
I hope not.
Having her insta kill Thanos would just be asinine.
Yeah, let's hear from a girl's point of view. What do you think will happen with Captain Marvel in the next Avengers movie, right?
Oh boy. Well, I hope at least Thanos gets a few good punches in. How about that?
See, like, I think what I'm hoping that'll happen is that even if she's technically stronger than him, that since he's more experienced and lived longer and more skilled, that even if she is trying to hit him and punch him, he's able to dodge and hit key blows and beat the crap out of her before, she would win. And
well, that'd be more interesting.
You can have all the power you want, but if you're not as experienced, you're going to have a tough time beating somebody. So I think that would be interesting. And then she can learn after that, like, oh, so learning as a team and learning to fight as a team and not thinking just because I'm the strongest, that could be some type of a arc for her to overcome later on. That'd be interesting. I doubt they'll do that too, but they might just have her come in. She tries to attack him. They can't do it on her own, so they work as a team and they beat him. But I don't know. Hard to tell how they'll do it now. It's kind of become unpredictable, but predictable. You know what I mean? It's like you think this will happen, but then this other things could happen. You don't know. It's like him snapping, half the universe actually at the end. Most people probably wasn't sure that they'd do that, at least in this. So
I was shocked. To be honest, I didn't expect them to do this in this one. But it makes sense. It's a 2-part movie, but yeah, I was shocked at the end. I was like, what? That's how they end the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said it was pretty depressing.
Definitely a surprise.
It'd be cool if Captain Marvel, okay, so we get this movie that we all think might suck. We don't know. And it's more of her past. Then it ties into the Avengers movie. She gets knocked. Is cussing allowed? Knocked the heck out. And then they bring Rogan to take her powers and relaunch the X-Men with that.
That actually sounds like a pretty good idea. Not gonna lie.
Yep, I have to agree with that too.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Less more of Brie Larson, because I swear she comes off as a condescending type of woman for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Angus, you've been quiet on this. No, he's probably dealing with his kids. His kids tend to, run through the living room or something.
I was just wanting to give everyone their chance.
So thank
I'm on here all the time with you.
Thank you for waiting. Yes, you're good now. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Man, I had a thought earlier. Besides Captain Marvel or Thanos, even though I love Thanos in the movie, I just saw. I didn't get to watch EVS's coverage of it yet, but I did see something about like Kevin Feige's doubling down about like, oh yeah, she's gonna be like the future of Marvel movies right now, at least for this phase or two. And it's like, oh god, like you don't even know if this is gonna work. You haven't even let people see this movie yet. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
It's like Ryan Johnson. It's like Ryan Johnson with Last Jedi, where it's like, yeah, this movie hasn't even come out yet, but he's got a trilogy after this. It's like, what? Like, at least George Lucas, like, they waited for at least a year before they ever thought of a sequel to Star Wars as like a production. It's weird. Oh God, I was thinking someone was talking about like Leaf Lightning was talking about Silver Surfer coming in. It's like, man, they really, the way they utilize everyone, they set it up perfect with Hulk being in space so they could fling him to Earth in the place of Silver Surfer for the Infinity Gauntlet story. But that brings me to a point that I'm interested in seeing. James Gunn, I'm not sure how much he was involved before they cut him with his part in like the Guardians, along with the Guardians just like seeming to be on infinite hiatus, like because of this whole gun ousting thing. So I'm really interested to see how they portray them, because they're kind of like the perfect medium to introduce comedic tones, even if it's not pure comedy. And it kind of rubbed off on Thor, not just with Ragnarok, but with his interaction with the Guardians. So that's probably the biggest thing I'm gonna be paying attention to. Besides, if they're gonna like how much they're pushing Captain Marvel into this, and I don't expect a lot of Thanos in the movie though. I expect it to be like 1 or 2 scenes.
Ditto.
Maybe a flashback or something again, or Soulstone interaction. But as far as like his character in the moment, I only expect maybe 2 scenes. I don't think he'll kill him though. I think the way his character is, especially how they focused on one little aspect, I think they're gonna just like there's this build up and everyone's mad about it, you know. But I think the way it's gonna be set up is like it's all about the gauntlet, not really about Thanos. He's done, so hey, if you can take it, then do what the fuck you want with it, I guess. I think it's gonna be his attitude.
That's what I'm hoping for too. I don't want them to have a chance to ruin Thanos' character. I mean, the more time they give him, the less likely he'll still be as cool. So just have him be as he is, and then they get what they need, reverse whatever they can, or bring whoever they can back, or whatever they're going to do anyway. And then, if he comes back later, then he could. And that'd be how I'd want it. Gateway in the comic, was it? Mr. Peabody said, "Why are y'all still talking about this nothing movie?" Poking a little fun at it, I suppose, but I don't know. Did any of you guys think that Avengers was a little overrated, or was it just around what it kind of should have been? Just,
I wasn't a big fan. I think they could have done more with less. Just too much CGI. I mean, the movie wasn't horrible. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't Last Jedi by any means. But I feel they could have done more with less and a little bit less CGI. Overall, it was still, like I said, it was still entertaining, but after 10 years, man, of waiting and build up, and I mean, we'll see if they make up for it in the second part. And like I said, this is just my opinion. Everybody's free to have their own, but that's just how I felt about it.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, the Spider-Man, I'm getting sick of all the reboots with the Spider-Man. I don't need a teenage Spider-Man. My Spider-Man was a college student. So
that 10-year-old
Spider-Man was actually much older or something like that. Why don't you try something like that for once instead of always rebooting it when he's still in high school?
Yeah,
something different.
Yeah, love or hate movie Bob, but he had a good one. He said, "What if they had the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man be like, after the first Avengers one, he kind of gives up being Spider-Man and lets everybody else do it because they've been, they're all way more powerful than him. So he's like, okay, I'll just let them take care of it for now." And then, by Civil War, Tony comes and recruits him back and brings him back into the fold for a little bit. An older Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. That'd be an interesting angle. Not the best.
Yeah, I think Tobey Maguire can pull it off, despite the fact that how old is he now? Probably in his 40s.
Yeah,
hey,
probably.
I think it might work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lethal Lightning says it was very overrated. I don't think he didn't really like the Avengers all that much.
I think Lethal's kind of like how I feel about it. I mean, it's like I said, it's after 10 years, and if you go back and watch the first Iron Man, when that first came out, man, that was one of the best movies. Follows the comics, which Rookie, I know you're not a big comic guy at all, but that's okay. But I mean, it really, when we hit the MCU with that, it finally was like, all right, we've got a good film. I feel that the first Deadpool movie, let's get it right here. Deadpool movie then was my second pick. It rocked. The Avengers, the first one was great. Second one, not too bad. This one, though, like I said, after 10 years of build-up, I just expected a little bit more. I do appreciate the fact that with all the crap of today, you can understand Thanos, no matter if you're left, right, religious or not. You can sympathize with the villain more so than you can in previous years or previous movies. Go back 10 years, when you're kind of rooting for the villain, that says something about today's political nonsense. Not going to steer it that way, but you all get it. But yeah, I just feel they could have done more with less. A little bit less CGI, a little bit more building instead of with the characters, even instead of, hey, everybody, look, bright, shiny moment. Okay, switch, bright, shiny moment. Okay, bright, shiny moment. And everybody together and poof. And the worst part was, Evans even said back on a late night show, I don't know, a year or two ago, he's like, oh, don't worry, everybody dies.
Yes.
So, you know, which granted, not everybody died, but we haven't seen the second part. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I definitely can't wait. But once again, you know, I could be the oddball one. I just felt they could have done, you know, more with less.
Well said, man.
Oh, yeah,
well
I was going to say something about I feel like lately, I think another fault of this actually is that they seem to throw a lot of humor out. It's like everything's got to have one serious moment, then, oh, we got to make a humorous joke or something like that. I mean,
gosh,
I didn't know what's your take on that.
What was that again?
But the way humor is presented in the Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think if they had a little less humor and a little more drama, they'd be better. Like with Spider-Man Homecoming, I'd say, you know, if that one had like 70 or like 60 or 70% humor and 30% drama, it would have been much better. But it felt like 95% humor and 5% drama. So, I mean, what drama they showed was good, but, you know, with every single thing being a joke was kind of hard to watch. I mean, even if it makes you laugh, that doesn't make a movie particularly good. So, I mean,
Sure.
I do like most. I don't hate any of the Marvel movies, but I don't love all of them either. There like Ant-Man and the Wasp, I had no desire to go see because I just expected it to be a funny fest, but, you know, nothing of substance.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I didn't really expect any substance out of it. Just him, you know, Baskin Robbins pizza joke or something, and I don't know.
I don't think there was anything like that. I did see it. It was a pretty solid sequel.
I'll just say in the first one, I didn't see the second one, so I don't know what they did. Just the humor, just being, But
it wasn't that good, to be honest.
Yeah, that's just my opinion on that.
On Homecoming, I didn't mind Michael Keaton. He was really good in that movie. He was probably the best thing in that film, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah, he was the fucking original Batman.
Terrific Internet Dude says Thanos equals Hitler, therefore Thanos did nothing wrong.
I love Stoney.
He always has a quip in there. Yep. And what was that? Lethal Lightning says Thanos is alt-right confirmed.
And then he kills Deadpool, which...
Yep. Here, I gotta do something real quick. My cat's being annoying. Angus, you take the lead while I'm gone for a sec. So, go to the next topic.
Sure. I guess I'll just throw this out there, and y'all can run with it however you will. Another thing I've thought about recently. I plan to dig back into my biology texts and stuff and reassess. Not reassess, but re-educate myself because you learn so much at once it kind of falls out about evolutionary studies and reproduction and stuff. Like Darwin essentially assumed that populations will always overproduce if they're successful, and so I realized scientifically, even though I love the philosophy of Thanos and stuff and like his angle, even if it's misguided, it's scientifically misguided because he's just gonna have to keep doing this because species that are successful keep repopulating. So at some point they're just gonna hit the same level, even if maybe unless they're sentient enough and intelligent enough to do like some Spock shit with their population control, I guess, and like merit to have children maybe. But that's just a thought that crossed my mind today and like the day before. Any of y'all have thoughts on that or another topic you want to offer?
What was the topic again, Black Angus?
Oh, I was saying that Darwin assumed. I think it's been like confirmed. I think it's pretty obvious. I'm not certain if evolutionary biologists agree to this still, but Darwin assumed that successful populations will always over-reproduce, and that's why you have things like that are expendable to some degree. Especially like you look at bugs, and fish, they overproduce because they're part of the food chain. And I was thinking that like Thanos, with all of his passion and his reasoning from Titan, he's not taking into account the science of this, that all these species are going to repopulate to the same point at some point unless they die out and get replaced with something. So I just thought scientifically it's kind of funny that he would he's going to have to keep doing this repeatedly through the centuries.
That's why
it's a flawed method. It's a flawed method.
Yeah.
So Thanos falls into a state of complete madness. And he's like,
like I have to do this every I don't know how many years.
It's just a funny angle that I thought. I'm like, oh man, as passionate as he is and like as reasoned as he is with his own experience, he's totally missing like something like very fundamental to creation, to populations building.
Job security.
He's like sitting in his chopper trying to like get rid of half the population while it repopulates like once every decade. Every decade. You know what happens when every decade you do this? You're gonna fall into insanity, dude. Do you realize what you're doing? I can't take it anymore. You do it. You do it.
Yeah, that was kind of sounds like Yoda.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. It sounds like Yoda's really depressed and angry at the time.
Do this I have again. Fucking kills everyone I do.
I'm gonna throw out this scenario. Actually, I'm not gonna like drop any names, so I don't want to like come across like I don't want someone to take us out of context and think like, oh, this guy was dissing this guy.
Wow,
but it's just
Keith Urban at the Colts. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, Keith Urban. Yeah, that was awful. But no. So there's this guy me and Rookie are aware of on Twitter and YouTube, and I showed him some videos mocking some of our beloved content creators like Geeks and Gamers, Jesse Milestone, John Talks, and a couple others I wasn't aware of or didn't check out. I think he did Amazing Lucas as well. Essentially what he does is he'll make this like 50 to minute 30 long loop of sound bites where like Jeremy keeps saying SJW about something, and he'll just keep putting those together, or different clips of him saying SJW, social justice, soy, and then it'll be like, oh, look at this dumbass, what a toxic fan, he's not a real fan. And just today he's like, oh, I'm going to be about positivity of Star Wars, so I'm going to delete these. And it's like, we're thinking, doesn't this seem a bit, because he's getting subscribers now, so it's like, doesn't this seem a bit convenient that maybe he realizes, so this might bite me in the ass if someone brings this up and like, oh yeah, well you made this stuff, but you're calling out everyone else toxic. So with that scenario, what from this scenario, as detailed as I could be, what are y'all's analysis of this?
Yeah, floor's open to anybody. No.
This is involving Jeremy and his thoughts on...
You bored them, Angus. You bored them. My God.
Yeah, man. I don't know if it's that. It's just too vague.
I mean, okay, so stupid question. Do I need to watch my language?
No. How many times have I said fuck? Look, it's your show, man.
No,
you're good. You're good.
Okay. The guy sounds like a fucking retard. Yeah, let's talk shit. Okay, Rookie, you're the biggest piece of shit ever. Oh, Rookie, can we be good buddies now? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to delete that I said that you're a piece of shit. What a douchebag. That's my feelings on it. I'm sorry. I just wanted to clarify, language. I don't want to, run people away.
It's like funny. It's like if you called me a big piece of shit, I mean, that'd be fine. Then I just go, okay, and then go on with whatever. But
I mean, that's how I think about it. I mean, it's just
you try to act like it never existed.
Run away? Wow.
Yeah, big time. I don't know. It's just kind of funny with the kind of stuff that I don't know tries to pull. I mean, I don't even want to debate anymore because I just feel like he's gonna. What's gonna be the point now? Like before, it seemed like we had a reason to, and now it's like, this seems too easy. I don't know. You know what I mean, Angus?
No, dude. Well, here's the thing. I just watched. I don't know if any of y'all watched Just Right. I never knew of this guy, but I saw Mahler and TheIronWolf
I like
did
the cereal.
they did a video analysis of Just Right, talking about like the great writing of Last Jedi, and they're kind of laughing at it and shit and breaking it down, pausing every few minutes, and it was like an hour 45 just shitting all over this video, and then Just Right ends up being in the chat. Apparently he's been watching it for a while, and so like, hey, come on, we'll have you on our stream, we can like actually talk, and they did. It was pretty civil, but they could, for 2 hours, they could not get this guy to agree about subjectivity versus objectivity of art, and so they could never go forward with the conversation about like debating Last Jedi and like separating like I like a film, my emotional response versus like objectively it's a bad film. Where it's like, oh, Suicide Squad, that's a bad film, right? And it's like, well, people might like it, but it's still a bad film, and they'll probably admit that. But for some reason, there's like this perfect little shell around Last Jedi. And that's why we're so up in arms about this movie, because we were like, why aren't you over? It's a movie, get over it. And it's like, no, this is like part of it's because it's like a stain on the fandom and like what we love, but it's also the way it's been protected by critics. So that's why I would like to debate this guy, but then he says like, oh, I'm kind of conservative, but then he's always defending like soy stuff and everything's like, what? Like I can't get a pin on this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like it's just
I'll just say
marbles. Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, I'll just say this. Jeremy's going to speak his mind regardless of what you think of him. He's just going to ball it out. That's just who he is. I admire that and respect that to some degree. I mean, you can agree and disagree with him all you like, but not everything he says we are all going to agree with,
Yeah, exactly.
Who he is. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't mean to be rude or condescending or putting people down. It's just he just speaks his mind. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, agreed.
I still wouldn't want to get into a debate with this guy.
Yeah, well, it's like I feel like the debate won't even be like what will it even be about anymore, Angus? Will it be about whether The Last Jedi was good or bad? Will it be about how fans and critics behaved after The Last Jedi? Like, what would it even be about by now?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. That's why I've been watching Mahler. Like, first of all, I was watching Mahler because Mahler is very detailed, and so I'm seeing like, all right, what little things would I actually have I not wrote down in my notebook already that I would want to point out? Like, this is bad. This is bad. This is why this movie sucks for the franchise. It's ignoring everything about the saga. And I was trying to get like any tips from Mahler that might aid me for the points that I wanted to address. And then I saw this, and I was like, huh. And so I think I want to like approach it differently and actually like set it up where it's like, all right, instead of just I'm anti Last Jedi, you were super pro, and it's like your whole channel's pro Disney Star Wars without like any complaint, it seems. Let's not set it up like that necessarily. Let's actually humanize each other for our opposing viewerships. And so that's my idea for a setup where it's like, all right, first off, explain your channel, explain mine, how we got into Star Wars, what we love about Star Wars, and maybe some of our top films. And I request that he have one of his top films be a children's film, because there's always that fucking rebuttal by these Last Jedi people like, oh, you're talking about a movie about space wizards intended for children. And it's like, oh my god, fucking Beauty and the Beast was nominated for an Oscar and lost to Silence of the Lambs. So like, don't give me that children's movie bullshit.
Well, it's like they're obsessing over it with love over a children's film, as they call it. And what's more weird too? I mean, really, too. I mean, I don't know. They're gonna say that we're weird for not liking it so much, and a children's film. Why are they loving it that much? I don't know.
Well, I think it's stupid because it's not because it's a kids movie that has to be dumb with a lot of plot holes and has to be like just visually appealing. You still need characterization and I don't know, respect what came before though.
So if it's a children's film, is that why Lando's fucking toasters now?
Exactly.
that's not for children. It's not.
I like the way you said that.
I'm sorry, man. I mean, come on. Lando Calrissian was one of the coolest dudes on the planet who could stand up to Harrison Ford and outshine his ass. I mean, come on. And then they throw all this bullshit in here, but that's what's really going on, eh? All right, but it's a children's film. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and then it's just the fact that, well, it's never been a children's film. It's been a family film.
Correct.
For everybody. And yeah, I mean, we could go. I don't want to turn this into a Star Wars talk.
No, I'm sorry, man.
Trying to save it for the future, because I know we've talked about it so much all the time. And when I love getting other people to talk about it, because if they haven't had the chance to, but like just personally, I'm just like I just deleted it out of my mind for right now.
I've had enough of it too.
Just the conversation of it. Like, I'm still thinking of my ideas for my rewrite that I'm doing, but like that's what I'm focusing on, that, and then not all the other stuff around it. Because The Last Jedi, I can only watch that 3 times, and the third time was by myself, and that took me like a couple days to actually finish watching it, because I just keep on pausing, going, this still actually happened in the movie. My God, like baffling. I'm just pondering, how can that? If you had a budget, you're given money and you're working, and this is what happens. I don't know. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I'll just give my opinion on The Last Jedi real quick. Basically, it's sort of a weird one, but I went to this movie really excited, and then my excitement levels just dipped down to the point where I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel anything for The Last Jedi or its characters at all. And that was the first movie that was the first Star Wars movie actually to really just like, I don't care. It's just like, I don't care.
Felt empty afterward, just like, like I have no idea what will happen next, and I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
I mean,
exactly.
it's like soul sucking almost.
Yeah, pretty
What
much.
kind of drugs were they even on?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the whole opening with Hux, and that just reminded me of something out of a Verizon commercial.
Which it's funny too. Now I'm picturing. Now I almost want to find some scenes and insert commercials into them. That sounds kind of.
That make it more entertaining.
Can you hear me now? Good. Can you hear me now? Your mom. Yeah, something with that. But I would say, yeah. So if people like The Last Jedi, we don't care. Like, that's fine. Like, that's been one of my main gripes, I guess, with the whole Last Jedi thing, is we'll say we don't like the film, and they'll say something about us not liking the film, and it's like, we have no beef with you liking it. That's fine, but we're gonna voice our concern. Like, you give us a crappy piece of food, we're gonna tell the chef we don't like it.
Oh, we're not gonna come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my dad liked it, but
I
wouldn't try to devalue him or something like that.
Right. You don't start attacking him. You don't start going, you're a man baby. You're a bigot. You don't start calling your dad all these things.
Whatever.
Or that's for him liking it. So he doesn't call you an incel or a nothing, right? Yeah. Exactly. But I don't know. I'm hoping 2019 will be like a year where we all kind of go, okay, The Last Jedi was what it was, and let's just hope that Star Wars in the future isn't this divisive anymore. But I doubt it. I bet it'll be even more divisive if anything. But
that'd be nice, though.
Yeah, talk about Rian Johnson getting
Clone Wars season 3.
Yeah, Clone Wars was good. But talk about Rian Johnson getting exactly what he wanted, like wanting to split a fan base, and people are still talking about it a year later as if it came out last week. Like,
yep,
that's some achievement. As stupid as he is, that is an achievement level. That's crazy.
It's impressive indeed.
Like, yeah, because who has that? Who else has that? What film is everyone still talking about from last year, other than that?
I don't know.
What else came out last year? Exactly.
I don't know. I can't think of one.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And this year will just be full of a lot of, amateur film, or not amateur films, but like less impressive films, I suppose. But
yeah, it's weird because you brought that back. You brought that up. It's like, what other movies? Like, maybe Infinity War, just because of all the characters and how it's like more recent as opposed to Star Wars is like a 40-year history, and so there's kind of a difference with that. and it's weird because they're both Disney, so it's like, you see like Avengers is executed really well, really pleasing most of the fan base that is either in it or has gotten into it and like binge the movies before they saw it, etc. Like if you were trying to get into Star Wars now, it's like, okay, let me get the like Blu-ray seller, let me go to the library and check out these movies, and you like watch it whether it's original trilogy or prequel first, and you like watch this whole thing, watch 7, like, man, it's derivative, but they laid some groundwork, and then you get to 8, and it's like, what was the point of ever watching this?
It's a turd. Okay, in my opinion, it's a turd.
Yeah, stop insulting turds, man. They at least have some respect.
Yeah, at least. They don't all stink as much.
Or convert them like methane and make them into energy like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome did.
Yeah, please.
When turds become insulted, Dick gets to the point where it sticks.
Like when
it sounded like a news headline.
Yeah.
Sure.
You sound like a freaking narrator. Like.
Yeah, it's funny. Bring back the good days of YouTube said, I almost feel bad for Abrams. I don't actually. It's easy to fall into that trap of like, oh, Abrams set up something really nice, and then Johnson just pissed all over it. Now Abrams is stuck with this like ruin that he has to try to put that together and make work half decent. And it's like, I don't really feel bad for him because he was at least an executive, if not a straight producer for Last Jedi, and he came out during Last Jedi Backlash like, oh, Star Wars fans don't have a problem with the movie, they have a problem with women and stuff. And it's like, oh, wow, you're pulling that crap.
Oh, I don't feel bad.
He's part of the problem. Don't be mistaken.
Yeah, I'll admit to that too.
All right, but here, so I wanted this to, like, so, okay, so it is on Star Wars. So, I mean, okay. Okay, so everybody here, if you have any Star Wars grievances you wanted to get out of your systems, it might as well be now. Let's just start with the ancient one. You've got some beef with Star Wars or something you've been wanting to get out but haven't been able to on a public platform. The floor is yours.
No, that's a very good question. Where do I even start? It's been a while since I've watched one of the last Star Wars films, to be honest. And gosh, I'm sorry, my head is being filled with brain farts when it comes to the later versions of Star Wars. I probably might have to watch them again.
Don't torture yourself, bro. The government uses that tactic on terrorists, and they don't appreciate it.
Pretty much.
Oh, they're gonna be showing the Last Jedi to the terrorists. Maybe it'll work. Who knows?
Yeah, they're all devout Christians now. I don't know, Jedi. Did you have anything about the Last Jedi or Star Wars or this whole Disney thing that you wanted to contest from your view?
Well, as a writer's standpoint, I'm no professional writer, but I want good characterization, something we didn't have. I want characters to have powers, for a reason. Not Rey. Rey is just too powerful for no reason. We don't know why, and it doesn't make any sense. And maybe less plot holes. That's what the big problems I had with the Last Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good one. So we can, what you said, I agree with, and I think most people can agree with. Can anybody think of even one positive about the film?
I'll start.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool.
I didn't think Mark Hamill was bad. I mean, he tried. I'll give him that. But I mean, I did like the part where he kind of trolled Rey with the weed. He's like, "That's the Force," and then he just slaps her with it. I'll admit that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a brief moment. That was kind of funny. I'll admit that was a brief. Huh.
I got one. And the only reason I'm going to say this is because it is true. It brought us all together. The movie itself. Love it, hate it, different. You know, it spawned how many channels? You know, once again, up, down, left, right, doesn't matter. But look at how many of us found each other because of this piece of shit movie.
Yep.
You know, even the Joker, he's telling you, there you go. There, you're number one. Ryan Roundhead has no Johnson. You know, J.J. Abrams, you dickhead. That's the positive I'll give you, though. It did bring us all together. You know, world-class bullshitters. Everybody, Doomcock. You go down the damn list. You know who we are. That is the one positive thing this film has done. Proper Jeremy said it best. On the anniversary of the film, boom, here you go. You know what was great about this film? Same thing. Brought us all together.
Yeah, very well said, man. Very well said again. Once again, yeah. I mean, if anything, too, it brings out more creativity, I would suggest, in other people. Like Ivan Ortega's edit of The Last Jedi. I mean, whether it will be good or bad or fixes it or not, the fact that he's putting in that work to try to do it based off of, you know, how horrible a film was, that's pretty impressive, I would say. And the Vader fan film, he was probably going to make it anyway. But, you know, I think The Last Jedi being bad was a big help for him to actually push toward doing it to, you know, make other people happy.
Well, it gave him an audience.
True. Eager for something, mouths watering. Give us something.
Yeah, I was more excited about this movie when it came out a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh man, I'm waiting in front of my TV. I'm refreshing the page. I can't wait for the link to drop. That's not something I felt with Star Wars in a very long time.
Yeah. And right, Kitty, what were you gonna say?
So I hearken a lot on She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, and I thought nothing could top the terrible animation in that. And then I saw Star Wars Resistance.
Yeah, that's actually
Jesus. It has the exact same problem. You cannot see the characters move.
Yeah,
the exact same problem. Like the lines are non-existent.
Yeah, with they have noodly arm animations when they run in Resistance. It looks weird. Definitely, you know, I agree with that. The She-Ra is not as horrible, at least in animation, compared to the Resistance, which it's a Star Wars Disney. How the hell can you make bad animation from Disney? Like, really?
Yeah, and they did it. They succeeded.
She-Ra in the 90s was awesome.
Oh, I long for the Don Bluth days.
Not Don Bluth. Do you guys remember Land Before Time?
Yes, definitely a great childhood classic.
Yep,
for me.
I mean, the emotions.
And I like Heaven as well, the first one.
Yep.
And hell, I even like the last film he did, Titan AE. It's like a combination of Star Wars and some other kind of comparable franchise, but I thought it was a decent flick, and unfortunately, that film bombed and pretty much killed his career.
Yeah, the poor dude. But he's sitting on like what 50 animated movies on his back pocket, so that's at least pretty good. But did anybody have any other grievances with Star Wars you want to get out your systems or anything positive? I only say the positive thing because it took us. I had the gang on a stream before, and we spent 10 or 15 minutes trying to assemble an idea of a piece of things that were good, and even the ones that I gave, which I spent even more time thinking about, it is only barely like 5 things, barely. like the throne room was almost cool. Like the throne room itself was.
The visuals were nice. I'll give him that.
Yeah, the visuals.
I like the set piece. It was all right. It should have had more stuff in it, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, his throne room looked cool with the red, but if there was, like, some type of hides on the wall or some type of, you know, recovered old weapons or something, you can kind of tell a little bit of a story about him without actually doing any exposition. Or if there was a video game, you could explore the throne room and see what was in it. And, you know, it's just kind of plain. I'm just picturing, like, you know, if you're a decorator going to a house and you're like, yeah, here's my ship, you know, and, you know, you're going to have this huge room all to yourself. Okay, just put in a chair over there. Okay, just a chair. Do you want anything else? No, just a chair. But not even a TV. You want to have it in the corner? No, just in the middle of the room. But
yeah,
you're going to look out the window? No. I'll just, make other people out the window for me. Like,
does that guy even have a bed? Like, where does he sleep?
I don't know. He's sitting in his chair, and he didn't. And I know that they're like, oh, he's like a Hugh Hefner or something. There was no harem bitches, so he's just a dude sitting around with his guards, just like, yep, he's just sitting. Cool. Are we guarding in his room? Shouldn't we be outside the room or something? Like, nope, let's just all be in here. And when he's
forever sitting.
And let's attack the attacker after he gets killed. This makes sense.
Now, this wasn't bad as Snoke. It's just that they didn't really give him much character development. He was supposed to be hyped up as the new emperor and just kill him off like he's nobody.
It's like he didn't even need to be in it. You didn't need to have a new emperor character. You could have had just a Hux and Kylo be the main guys and have some type of story where maybe Hux took was more of an influence on Kylo, and he was like there's some Dark Force stuff too, and shows him some stuff, and he's like, yeah, Luke's been holding me back. Anything you don't need to copy any of this stuff, which is why it's annoying when they're like, you just want the old. No, we just want you to be consistent. You don't just go from A to B and have, you left off from A where all the grass was destroyed and, it's completely destroyed, desert. And then you come back and it's like a utopia a year later. You'd be like, how the hell did that happen? No, it's forward in time. So just cause. But how did you get the water there? How'd you get that there? Well, just cause.
This plot.
Yeah, you just want to know why. Even if they said because some lady drew some water and threw it in there and grew some plant. I don't know, some magic plants that grow 20 times faster. Okay, that'd at least be an answer.
It's funny. These people they make the excuse of like Star Wars was made to sell toys to children, and it's like. Yeah, but I'm sure the same people that say that would rip Transformers to shreds, and that show and He-Man were literally made to sell toys.
And Ninja Turtles, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Ninja Turtles was a comic, but was that, I guess, after they made the toys?
That was a show, too, but to sell toys. Whatever the shows were, it was all to sell toys, so.
If I remember correctly, it did start out as a comic and eventually became a cartoon.
Yep.
The first one's the best one.
Sony McInerney in the chat says the Senate are putting chemicals in the water that are turning the freaking Gungans gay.
Oh, Alex Jones.
I love Stoney. He's great.
See, what's funny though, just bringing that up, like the prequels, as bad as everyone wants to say that they were creative. Like. They brought so much new scenes and things into the universe, made it seem bigger. This just seemed even smaller than before. Like, do you guys remember anything outside of whatever the Resistance is doing and whatever the First Order is doing? Like, other than Canto Bight?
Okay, I don't think the prequels were that bad.
Yeah, I agree. The prequels were definitely pretty solid. The third one definitely.
My problem was everybody blames Lucas, but he wasn't the only one making the decisions when it came to stuff in the prequels. Some of the stuff maybe he had a little bit to do with, but there were other people that had their hands in that pie. Like, haha, EBS got to. But anyhow, there were other people throwing ideas and saying, hey, you should do this, hey, you should do that. I think that overall, when we go from my era to your guys' era to this new shit, oh man. The only way I can see that it makes sense, let's say that, Rookie, you and I are having an FU battle back and forth, but we're going to do our FU battle through the movie that we're filming. So JJ's got his, I set everything up. Hasno Johnson gets his, hey, I'm going to fuck up everything you set up. Haha, what you going to do now, bitch? And that's kind of how I feel that they did.
So it's a grand scale, your mama Joker or something battle. It's a, back and forth. Your mama's so
an epic rap battle, pretty much.
Yeah, an epic rap battle.
What you gonna do now?
I enjoyed The Last Jedi because I didn't understand it because I heard it in Spanish and I don't speak Spanish. So visually, when I saw it,
with subtitles help.
No, there was no subtitles, man. It was legitimately like, Cody box, allegedly. That's how I saw it. So I didn't know what was going on other than the few words that came in English, like Yoda going, and Yoda was there because money. But when I actually watched the film and understood it, it sucked. But visually, it was a good film. Minus, Ray's tuna box getting stabbed in the back and her, still living through it. And a couple other things. But regardless, that's how I took it. Lucas said these are not my films. This is a fan film. And that goes all the way back to The Force Awakens. When you watch it, and it was like, oh, don't touch my hand. Okay. Whatever, I guess.
It's a weird moment.
Dude, there were just so many of those, though. And then if you go and compare them to, what is now known as A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, it's almost like these are the remakes where the prequels, we didn't really need them, but they did make sense. Let me say this. The only Disney movie I enjoyed so far was Rogue One. Because everybody dies. We got a kick-ass Vader. And it explained something that my generation didn't need, which was, why was there a flaw on the Death Star? There you go. Okay. Now you know why. We had this thing called our imagination. I didn't need this shit. I knew that the Millennium Falcon was the fastest ship because he said so. It outran, the Corellian ships. I didn't know what the fucking Corellian ship was, but I knew that the Millennium Falcon was fast because it outran one, even though I didn't know what the hell it was. But yeah, that's what, when you jump into Star Wars, these are the kind of crazy shit you're going to get from people like me that are older. But the prequels, I didn't have a problem with them. I took my kids to see them. I will say Phantom Menace, when my youngest was, 2, 3 when we took him, and he hated Jar Jar. He cried, and there were 3 or 4 other parents that were all holding our kids up away from the film because they all hated Jar Jar, but Jar Jar was supposedly for the kids. So,
I was 3 years old when the movie came out. I hated Jar Jar Binks. I thought it was annoying. Really annoying.
A wet wheelie with my tongue.
He honestly is a better character than Kylo Ren. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's the thing. Look back, we were fine with Return of the Jedi being the end. Okay, fine. Yeah. Then we get the prequels. Then we get this shit. And I would rather it just stay 6 movies. I was fine with the first 3. I was fine with the last 3. As for the future, you might as well go EU. And if you're going EU, bring Lethal Lightning's ass up in this because that man knows his shit.
It's like
when it comes to
you were just joking. We were just effing with you. Maybe that's what they should say.
Still harm would be done. You punch somebody in the face and go, just playing, bro. It still hurts.
Yeah.
I love the.
She'll be all right.
Yeah, but so let's we're gonna wrap up soon. Not yet though. We're just I say that because it takes like over a half hour to wrap up usually. So let's say this. So since we're still on it, what is something you guys would have changed or what you would do to have made either The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi a less worse film? Starting with Riot Kitty.
Don't have Luke drink kitty milk.
Not a bad start. It's not a bad start.
Bravo.
Serious. That was completely unnecessary.
You didn't need to be so much of a dirty hobo. You really needed to be.
Well,
yeah.
Anomaly Inc.
Is this another attempt to promote soy products? Probably. Yeah, that's probably what it was. They were promoting.
Anomaly Inc. pointed out that if he was more like a goofy old man or something, that would be a little better. But he shifts from trying to be serious and then telling a joke and then being weird and then being serious, and it's like it doesn't. But if he was full on a goofball, that'd be kind of funny, I guess. But it's not what we would want either.
Yeah, his character had an inconsistent tone. I have to admit, looking back.
It's like if you had, honestly, with the Avengers, that's a perfect example of giving us what we want with the first Avengers film, and everybody mostly liked it. What would be the harm if they did that with Star Wars? If you listened to the fans and gave them what they want, people would cheer usually and like it, and it would be good. I mean, they sound like that's a crime. They're like, oh, fans will want to do this. We can't do anything they want. Really? People that want to buy something from you, you want to ignore it. That doesn't make any sense.
Points out that the producers were on, let me think, serious drugs.
A little meth. Hey, look, man, you all brought me on here. I mean, if you want me to be quiet, I will.
Just
but, it's meth, man. They were on meth.
Maybe there was too much mercury in that big ass fish he caught.
I don't know. Maybe it was Akbar Snaggy cakes and they just tasted too fishy. And I don't know, man. It doesn't make any sense. Let's divide the fandom so that half the people are pissed off and half of them will buy the stuff. But yet I've got a room full of stuff as you see. And behind this wall is a Star Wars room full of old school shit, new school shit. Black Series stuff rocked when it came to the lightsabers. I might be able to talk, but you will not find figures out there. You will see the lightsabers. That's it. But
and so you see Darth Vader wielding a pink lightsaber.
I want to see Rey's new lightsaber. It's got to be rainbow, baby, rainbow, and not like what my room's doing. Just solid rainbow. Green, red, purple, orange, so on and so forth. Yeah, that's her lightsaber. Rainbow, baby.
Yeah, race for diversity, man. That's no. Oh, that'd be bad.
Hell yeah. But it's like what I was saying. So I'll give an example. So like what I was thinking is like with Rey, I kind of like the idea of when they're showing her before she, did anything. Just kind of going around and wandering around and kind of showing us who she is a little bit, just kind of living on her own and just living day by day. Like, and she seemed kind of innocent, and maybe she's had some self-defense here and there and hasn't left the planet. Maybe she tinkers with stuff and is good with engineering and fixing things, sure. But like, if one of the experiences being like, the First Order comes to the planet, that should be exciting for her or a little scary. Like, just like, who the hell are these guys? What are they doing? And something's happening. Okay. And somebody needs some help. Okay. Help them out. And, and then she ends up getting, thrust into this adventure without her being important in the first movie, have her literally not even be important in the first one. And like, literally end up discovering herself or something throughout the three films rather than just, instantly beating the bad guy, like literally not even know the Force and then she knows of it. But even if she's super powerful as they had her be, like have her be surprised by it, shocked or scared, or be like, I'm this powerful. Like, she accidentally thrust some people, over the room, and it's like, okay, how do I, control this? And have that be part of her journey or something, learning how to control it, experiencing space for the first time. Everything would be magical to her because it wouldn't just be, everyday thing, and help the newer generation, be more invested in the world. Maybe. What do you think about that? It just made it seem
like she was like, it just came natural to her.
Yeah, like as if it was part of the script. Just, she does this and then she does that, and then I go over here and then I fix the Falcon and then I beat the bad guys and then it's just okay. I get captured and then I escape. I get captured, then I escape, and then okay.
Nah, man, she's got to whoop Kylo because Rey is Kathleen Kennedy. So there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, they shouldn't have even had a lightsaber fight.
Younger version of Kathleen Kennedy, and this is her version of what she would want to happen. She's the bestest laser shooter and the lightsaber sword swinger and the best pilot and can fix everything and doesn't need a man to touch her. And I can do all because I say so. And then in the next movie, what do we get? A blown up. The throne room was cool, but you get a blown up lightsaber, an old man Luke that should be like Obi-Wan Kenobi, only more pissed off and more badasser. Yeah, that sounds right.
More badasser.
More badasser, man, because it's Luke, man. I mean, come on. He found the good in his father to turn him from the dark side back to the light side. Then he goes and fails with an academy, just like every other damn Jedi had. And he's going to go be a whiny little bitch on a planet drinking green titty milk? I mean, come on. Give me a break. But
should he have separate from the tick?
That's what he did. So, hey.
Yeah, hey, Adam, what anyone can jump in, but what is that quote about, like, all it takes for bad things to happen is for good men to do nothing? And it's like, that's what I get from Luke Skywalker, is he's just that. And then everyone cheers about the non-violent act he did to fight Kylo, which is just a stall. And actually, like, I was watching, someone was talking about how, like, the way it's set up is, like, he doesn't even know if there's an exit in the back. and it's just Rey that makes the exit because no one small enough as like the Fox is to squeeze through it. So like his whole plan is like totally unaware, and he never tells anyone like, "Hey, I'm going to stall" or this or that. He just says hi to Leia for the fans, winks at C-3PO, then walks out for a stall. And it's just like, no, this is so control. This is not heroic. He's been avoidant, and bad shit has happened because of that. And the whole narrative of like, oh, the Jedi are a failure. And it's like they had 1,000 years of peace, and it fell through when they didn't adhere to their strict guidelines of like abducting children before they made attachments.
Don't forget the dice. You got to have the dice so you have the Solo. Don't forget the dice that have no damn meaning in 6 previous movies. No, but yeah, you're right, man. You're right. I mean, he did nothing. His plan was to have no plan, is what it seems to be. That's hashtag not my Luke Skywalker. He would have whooped some ass. I don't remember what stream I said it on. Everybody loved it, so I'm gonna say it again, just real quick. This is how the next one needs to start. Luke comes, all of a sudden he's standing there, and what we've seen from the past 2 movies was a Force vision, Force dream. He's meditating, whatever. Rey hands him the lightsaber. He fires that bitch up, cuts her in half. Goes, kills Snoke, kills Kylo, takes that motherfucker, drops it, and says, "For the fans, we're sorry."
Almost Pilot Renegade style.
Hell yeah.
Like cheering, going, "All right, yeah, right, finally, listen to us. All right, yeah."
If anything, I definitely appreciate, Return of the Jedi even more, because it's technically the first Star Wars movie I saw. Because I recently watched it, and there is no way in hell Luke Skywalker would have done anything what he did and what Rian Johnson wrote and portrayed him, because this is just bad fan fiction overall.
Well, and it's like, seriously, you could have had him, be this old man that is done with the fight, but you got to show us some actual reason. Like, I would think years after, the Death Star is destroyed and he runs into families of people that he's killed that were stormtroopers, and, maybe he keeps on trying to just snub out the last of it, but they just keep on coming here and there, and he just can't keep on stopping people from being killed. And, the people in the galaxy rely on him to protect them, and he can't save everybody. Maybe after 30 years of that shit, he's like, I'm just going to go and chill for a bit and get away from this, because I don't know what the hell to do anymore. It's not doing anything.
Yeah, a chance to reset it.
Could have respected that.
You gave me a lot of ideas for stories.
But no, what do we get? Oh, he was so filled with Snoke. Oh, so he molested him. Giggity. Come on. The dark side. Oh, he was so full of the dark side. What the fuck? Come on, lame. My dogs can write a better movie.
Speaking of Supreme Smoke, could you imagine how much his entire room would cost in real life?
I don't know. American, Canadian, or Australian?
American Canadian, dollars. You're ruined.
Shout out, baby. Shout out. It's just,
Probably 25. 25.
Would that be before it blows up, or after?
After.
How much?
All the previous episodes need to be written as a total nightmare and a vision and just a dream. All in Luke's head.
Yep, exactly. Well, I think this was a pretty good stream. You guys getting to know some of the smaller YouTube channels, and I plan on doing this again in the future. And I also plan on having each of you on as a special guest. So it's more focused on you guys. And this is just like a end of the year, random, just getting everybody together type of thing that haven't been able to stream yet. And so let's go around the table and have you guys say any final thoughts for the chat or for us. And let's start with Movie Man.
I just want to say, how about them Cowboys, baby? Woo! 10-6. That was pretty damn good. That's the good thing, definitely good thing of this year. I thought after that 3-5 record, we were done, but man, going 7-1, that's impressive. That's an impressive feat.
He's talking about sports ball, people in the chat that don't watch football.
And I did see the game, so congrats to the Eagles for now.
Yeah.
Yep, hell yeah. So So that's Open-Minded Movie Man. Guy does movie review. Give everybody a recap on what your channel's about, so people that are watching, if they weren't here in the beginning, can check you out.
Who, me again?
Yep, and I'll post the link in the chat.
All right. Well, basically, I'm Open-Minded Movie Man. I've been on YouTube for a couple years. I was kind of on a year hiatus, and then just like last month, I started getting my motivation and my mojo back, and I've been pumping up at least, I'd say at least 20 plus videos this far, and I have to admit that's a pretty good, impressive feat. They can be very short, like it relates to sports, and then talking about the Blu-rays I've been getting, whether I'm a fan of them or whether I got them on the cheap, or if I do recent movie reviews. Like the most recent review that I did was probably Widows, and it was an okay film. But yeah, I've learned that I want to try to evolve my channel, not just talk about movies or Blu-rays, but kind of. I just recently posted a video of my white elephant Christmas gift party, or not my party, but it was a family event. White elephant Christmas gift Eve party. I thought that was kind of cool. And then I was gonna try to invite people that I know on my channel, like I was going to do this taste test between Taco Bell and Taco Bueno, but Taco Bueno apparently has been shut down. So I'm going to have to...
Taco what?
Yeah, Taco Bueno.
I've not heard of that.
I think it's based in Dallas, so...
Oh, okay.
I saw those in Oklahoma when I was a kid.
Nice. Yeah, so that is Open-Minded Movie Man, and yeah, you're going to be another guest on my channel at some point too, and you do some awesome skits. Yeah, you're very committed to that, so you'll probably be a guest on one of those as well, collaborator.
I like to think that I could be a pretty solid actor if given a chance.
And it's like don't worry about how good it is, because if you look at my first ones, I look like it's horrible. It's extremely horrible. Angus knows from looking at some of those.
Oh yeah, I do my research when I find YouTubers.
Yeah, big difference between my first one and now. But so Riot Kitty, you're up next. Tell the chat a little bit about your channel, and then any last words too.
Okay, well, so I am making my own comic book. It is called Dollhouse, and basically I'm just going to be doing writing, art, and design videos as well pretty soon. I don't have that much up yet, but hopefully I'll get some more stuff up soon. So look forward to the New Year's special I got coming out right now. And
hey guys.
Also, hello. Also, I really want to challenge myself with this comic, because most of the supporting cast, they all have their faces concealed. I want them to be lovable and be memorable, even though their faces are concealed and stuff like that. And that's kind of all I have to say.
I gotcha. But hey, Uncle Ethan, you came in right at the end. Like, we're just about to wrap up, but we'll let you say a few words before we close out in a sec. But we're going through everybody else's last thing real quick. So, Jedi Rider Gaming, why don't you give us any of your last thoughts and replug your channel so people that are in here can get another look at you.
Okay, so I mostly do video game movies, where I edit video game cutscenes and gameplay to when I do movies with this. I also do live commentary sometimes, and just like occasional live streams. I will start doing more NHL stream because it's hockey season. So, and I'm a huge hockey fan. So yeah, that's that. And final thoughts. Thank you, Rookie Critic, for the stream. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be having you on at some point again, or maybe a future collab on some things. Yeah, you've been a good one in the chat, coming by most live streams I've seen for the most part, at least saying hi once, at least. Yeah. So I appreciate that too. I feel like I have fans. I feel like I have fans sometimes when I see you guys in the chat, both the same people in the chat. I'm like, oh hey, you're back, and I'll count on you. And the next one, it's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, you have a nice channel, man.
Appreciate it. So Ancient One, give your plug and any of your final thoughts.
It's pretty But it's actually pretty nice hanging out with all of you. I finally got the chance to speak for the mic. I'm just glad.
Yeah, I'll be giving you some more chances in the future as well. You haven't yet started your channel, so I don't have a link to post, but you will at some point. Tell everybody again some of the stuff you plan on doing in the future with your channel.
If ever given the chance, I would definitely love to do pretty much many things like, let me think. Versus debating is one of those things. Like, like basically, for example, researching the characters and determining who would win a fight, but more importantly, it's not just who would win a fight, it would also be about how the matchup is going to turn out from just beginning to end. And if the matchup, according to the research, is actually good, if not better than good, then that's what's going to really get people going, oh, this is good stuff, man. I want to watch this again.
Very well put, man. Yeah, and you're going to have some good versus battles in the future, hopefully. It seems like yours are going to take a lot longer to make because, involving character attributes as a good factor.
It could take a while to research an entire character, which depends from who you're dealing with. Like, for example, if you're gonna put up, like, say, oh gosh, Goku from Dragon Ball, we would have to look through the entire canon manga. But if you're talking something like, say, Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins, or Kyros from Witches and Warriors, that wouldn't necessarily take as long because they're just video gaming characters.
Good point. Good point.
And same thing with Brian McGuire from Turrican. In case if you're all wondering, my avatar is pretty much Brian McGuire from Turrican. It's a really good run and gun series. I would definitely recommend looking into it for those who know not about it. It originally came to being back in 1990, and it became pretty popular until the later 1990s, where it fell into some obscurity.
Right. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Do you have a date on when you might start your channel in the future?
Not sure yet.
Not sure yet. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Do I have to make do I have to make a business kind of email in order to get that going? I mean, obviously I would.
I mean, just a title that you'd want people to, see as, or that you think people might want to look at for it. Like the rookie critic kind of flew off the tongue, but it also is inspired a little bit on the nostalgia critic. So I mean, everybody finds their own way to make their channel. So.
My upcoming channel would definitely be called Energy Wheel, which is entirely just one word. The term energy wheel is, well, basically the ability to transform into an indestructible wheel where you can just, like, wreck enemies within the Turrican franchise right into and just wreak havoc on them like no tomorrow. Although the later Turrican games gave a duration limit to how long you remain in Energy Wheel for. Well, the earlier Turrican games pointed out that you can remain in Energy Wheel mode for as long as you want.
Yep. That sounds awesome, man. And we'll be keeping you updated on some of that stuff, too. I'll have you on occasion. I don't know how many streams to have on, because I do in the future. I want to keep the panel pretty small because I've been keep on opening it up so much that I don't know if everybody gets a chance to say what they want to say. So in the future, there'll be probably smaller ones, and I don't know how often I'll stream either, because I'll be guests on other people's streams too, as well as making my own stuff. But I like to keep people updated on what you're doing and what everybody's doing.
And if Energy Wheel ever did become a company, it would definitely house a number of arcade games and pinball machines as well. I might even invite a number of you as special guests to just play a number of gaming. Oh yeah, we could even do Dungeons and Dragons if we all want to. We're gonna have the most crazy adventures people would ever think. They'd be like, hey, wait a minute, no, I encountered 1 million zombies, and they're trying to, they're pissing me off. Why would they do this?
Yep. And Adam Shawhan, give your last little shout out, your little plug, or if you're going to start posting some more content on your channel, and tell us about it if you're going to.
So basically, I mean, I don't really put a lot on mine. It's all on Frank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, which is just videos of the Wiener Dogs. Frank got to meet his daughter today, Little Miss. So that's on there. It's like 2 minutes long. Literally, that's about it, man. You know me, I'm here, there, and everywhere. Most of my content's on everybody else's channel. So this is the best part. Check me out. You know, I'm usually on the DJD show live. Now that his regular channel got kind of false flagged and shut down for possibly 3 months. Odin's movie blog. Of course, any chance I get to be with you, good sir, the Rookie Critic, and Mr. Black Angus, always appreciated to be there. Of course, I'm always with Doomcock. As you can see, he's hanging out here with the Joker. Joker kidnapped him from his lair just because he can. You know, you'll see me on Lethal Lightning streams on occasion, but I'm generally always in the chat of all these Mecha Random as well. I don't want to leave anybody out, but you know, sometimes it does happen because, like I said, it's a long list. Unlike Star Wars, we do care about our fans and the communities. As you can tell, these are great communities. Doesn't matter how small your channel is or how big it is, such as big as Geek and Game, World Class Bullshitters, Ethan Van Sciver, Doomcock, same thing. Those are really big channels. Us, we're kind of smaller channels. We all have good times meeting each other in the chat. Like I said, that's, you know, Rookie, that's how you and I first met, was in the chat. So same with Brandon Moist. That, you know, I met him, World Class Bullshitters. American Trent 007, same thing. All great people. But yeah, that's just it, man. Come check out our channels, check out the big channels. Stay angry, everyone. Till the next time.
Exactly. Well said, man. And Angus?
Yes. I was actually going to let Uncle Ethan 99 plug his channel.
I was going to have him do some of the last words for it. After we all go through, I'll give him some time to talk too. So go ahead, Angus.
Okay, yeah. So you all know me. I'm always with the Rookie Critic. I am 1/3 of the Chaos Council, and I cover film philosophy in the NFL. One thing, even though I really love Star Wars, been a diehard since I was 8 and saw Episode 1. I don't like to make a lot of Star Wars videos. I like to, put a lot of thought. So like, I'll talk a lot when we have streams like this, but because Star Wars is so sour now, because of The Last Jedi and stuff, it's tainted in a way that, yeah, the prequels may have done stuff to your fandom, but nothing like this. Nothing that just spit in your face. Maybe some inconsistency, sure, but nothing like this where it's like, you're a man baby and we don't want your money, you're a bigot. So I don't like to do I don't like to invest a lot of time in making Star Wars content, but especially with the insight I had with Adam just now about the good men doing nothing and all that, I actually want to do an in-depth video about Luke Skywalker, a character I've never really been deeply invested in because he's a Jedi and I love the dark side. On top of that, I got a video I've planned for about a year now, but never invested time in, about the best ranked lead women of Star Wars, and my top choice might surprise you. So I'm kind of excited about that, and I'm glad having these chats with people can give me some insight to bounce off of. I appreciate it from everyone, whether it's just a line you say or a whole 10-minute conversation. I appreciate it, each and every one of you's potential insight for me, and hopefully I give y'all some of that, as well as Rookie and Geoff and everyone that's a regular with Rookie Critic and the Chaos Council. I guess in closing, Phillies in the playoffs. Hot damn Jedi Rider Gaming. Sorry, open-minded. Y'all did have a great game in New York. I was rooting for y'all to lose, of course, but it was entertaining nonetheless.
Point you, we won.
Entertaining nonetheless. I love football, and it was entertaining, even if I didn't like the team who won. You pulled it out in a way that without Zeke you probably shouldn't have. Fluke, I don't know. Really excited about the playoffs this year, even if we didn't make it. It's a weird time. Star Wars is salvaged because of the fandom that we've made this year, and football is great for being a Super Bowl champ and getting back to the playoffs this year by skin of our teeth. So,
yeah, close game.
With all the bad we've had, YouTube and football has been something that's really sustained a good mentality, I guess, for me. And I look forward to growing with all of you this next new coming year, having a full year in YouTube.
Yeah, dude.
And I'll turn it over to Uncle Ethan 99.
Yep. Welcome, Uncle Ethan 99. You just came in toward the end, but how's it going, man?
Yeah, good. Thanks. As you know, I'm a ripoff of Ethan Van Sciver. And yeah, basically, I'm in the process of rebooting my channel. So, yeah, kind of deleted my old stuff, but I'm going to make some new videos in the future.
And that's good. What kind of content are you going to do?
Probably more Star Wars related.
I got you. Going to be pro Last Jedi? No, just kidding.
Nah, anti Last Jedi, of course.
Yep, naturally. What do you think you'll bring to the table that's different than what others have done?
It's probably going to be more like Star Wars related and like not really outside of Star Wars, more like in Star Wars. In a sense, it's going to be like focusing on the stories and all that.
Right. Well, that's good. Were you a huge novel reader with it?
Yeah, maybe. So, yeah.
That's good. Well, that's all right. Well, yeah, I'm sorry that you were not here for the majority of this, but I'll have you on another time to give you a chance to speak on the bigger platform with it. But yeah, we've been going on for a little over 2 hours now and everything, so just about to close out. But do you want to say anything to the chat, to everybody listening, to anything?
Yeah,
go ahead.
You can follow me on Twitter at Uncle Ethan99.
We could also have a chance to contact each other on Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, did you plug your Discord, Ancient?
Oh, what?
Did you plug your Discord yet? So if you wanted to plug your Discord, go ahead. Okay, so, all right, never mind. All right, so thank you, everybody, for joining us. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a New Year's Eve live stream. Just, going to keep that one just me, Angus, IronWolf, and Sid Kryptonian, and Flipped Out. And just keep it, the original crew, I suppose, from the rookie area of the corner, in a way, for tomorrow for a couple hours. And I don't know. I know it'll be going on during Jeremy's stream. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to stream tomorrow, but we'll probably bounce around between their streams too and watch every now and then. But if you want to pop by us for a little bit, that'd be cool. Stop by and chit chat for a little bit, and yeah, we'll be reflecting on this year a little bit.
That'd be cool.
What was that?
I wish I could join in the live stream on that. So
yeah, for this one, we'll just keep it with us few for a while because it's been a while since we've had the whole gang together, I suppose, with Flip, Angus, Sith, and Wolf, and everybody all at once. We've had to rotate everybody for a while since some people weren't able to come in on everyone's stream. So just have an old-fashioned one. But yeah, you're welcome to be in the chat with us, and we'll be seeing everybody soon. So have a good one, guys.